Incredible greetings, incredible greetings. All right, I need like a 30-minute brain break. Like seriously, I need a 30-minute brain break. My brain is kind of sort of fried right now. I'm working on some things and yeah, I just needed my brain needed a reset. So I figured I'd just do this instead of I was gonna go on Hulu and pick a show. And yeah, I just needed but I figured this would I don't know what I figured, but I didn't want to I don't know. I just need a break. I've been at this computer, I've been on my phone, I've been in this notebook all morning and my brain needs a break from the things that I am working on. So yeah, here we are. Let's see, let's go public safe. And then let's go. All right, there we go. Hello, 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 incredible greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How art thou? As you guys come in, drop a hey, how you doing? Let me know where you are watching from. What do you guys have going on today? Uh-oh, hold on. Okay, I had to change something. Hello, 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 incredible greetings. Checking in from California. Where are the rest of you guys checking in from? Louisiana in the building. What are you guys working on today? Okay, so I have a quick question. Your gray grid that is showing, I no longer have mine when I open up my pages. What gray grid? You mean the matte? So You get that from here. Even if you're using version 5, it would still pretty much be the same thing. So your machine basically just tells it like which machine you're using. Mine normally just defaults to Cameo, to a Cameo. It doesn't really matter like which one, because even when I'm using my Cameo 2, because that's the one that's plugged in, it still just kind of says a Cameo, whatever. So it's just auto Cameo. Your feed is if you're doing like the manual, or that now they have the auto feeder. Your cutting mat, this right here is how you see this area right here. So you would choose, if you have none, then it's not going to show up. If you are just designing something that you are going to print, and let me put this question up here just so that people know like what we're asking, the question that I'm answering again. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So if you have it set to none, you're not going to see anything. This is normally if you are creating something that's going to be saved in a digital format, JPEG, PNG, PDF, SVG, things of that nature. You don't need a mat really. You only need the mat if you're going to actually cut with the machine. If you're going to design something for print, you don't need the mat. If you happen to open up a file that you got from someone and they did not have a mat on, your mat may not be on. Well, the mat won't be on. And then if you go to create a new page, it will default to basically no mat. So it's really easy to turn it on. You're going to go here to cutting mat and choose the mat size that you are using, whether it is a Cameo 12 by 12, 24, portrait, stamp, any of those, right? So I'm just going to go. Mine is normally set to a 24-inch mat. And then your media size, mine, I never really touch media size. I normally just go right here. So right now it's set to 13 by 19 because I was doing sublimation, a sublimation print. As you can see, it goes past it. So you can make this whatever size you need this to be. If you're doing print and cut, you want it to be the size of the paper that you are using. And then transparency allows you to see through that by if you want to see the lines through, but never ever go all the way down, because if you end up putting something over here because you can't see it, this is the only part that's going to cut. But yeah, that's that. All in this section right here. Nope, it's okay. Sometimes it's the little things that you overlook. I actually forget all the time, because if I want to go to, so let's say if I have this set, so if you just go to none, right? So let's say you have any machine selected and you go to machine and just choose none, it's also not going to, you're not even going to see the arrow, right? So if you have a machine and you have your cutting mat set to none, you'll still see the arrow, because with the Cameo, you can cut with no mat, right? With any of the machines, you can cut with no mat. If you have your machine set to none, meaning you're literally just using it as a design software. This happens to me often, and I'll go to registration and it'll say registration marks are not available when media layout is active. So that's just looking at like the media layout. So some people don't know what this technically means. And basically what it's saying is you don't have a machine selected. So once I go here and I go back, even if there is no mat selected, you can still do print and cut with no mat, because sticker papers, you don't have to cut all the way through. There's a paper backing. So that comes up if you have the machine set to none. So you can see that mat will disappear if your machine is set to none. So I'll go here, and then if I go machine set to none, it still goes away. So that's something that came with like version 4, was it 4.3, 4.4, one of those, where it will, you have an option for machine being set to none as well as mat being set to none. This worked my nerves all week long. Well, why didn't you post it in the group? You guys, I have groups for this reason. Why do you guys like to suffer alone? That's something that could have been fixed earlier in the week, because you just could have posted that as a quick question in the group. That's it. And you could have known that days ago. Hey, just say. And thank you for your question. I didn't even think about posting in the group. It's one of those weeks, to say the least. I know how that goes. Anyone else? Like I said, I'm just taking a quick mental break. Was working on some designs. Also had like some back. So I was actually writing some stuff in my notebook. And my brain was just fried trying to brainstorm and outline some things for the next couple of weeks, and some classes and things that are coming up and things I want to do. And it was really making my brain hurt. So I had to take a step back. Um, when you guys, if that ever happens to you guys, know that it's okay to take a break, and then come back with fresh eyes, a rested brain, and you'll probably have some clarity, because everything was just starting. I felt like everything was just starting to like fog together and mush together, and I just needed a break. So for me, breaks are, I mean, I like coming live. Like these help me just reset my brain. You would think answering questions and things like that would make it more confusing for me, like make my brain full, like more congested, but no, like it gives me a moment to like focus on something else other than what's in front of me. And it actually does help. So I was like, yeah, let me just kind of come on and just take 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes, and just take a break. Just take a freaking break. Um because there's not really much on TV. I was gonna watch Hulu, but I'm actually caught up. And the other thing that I probably would watch, I have to wait for MJ to catch up, so couldn't do that. What are you guys working on? All right. So there's 10 of you watching, and none of you guys have anything to say. None of you guys are working on anything today. Don't have any plans and designs that you're working on coming up. Anybody working on learning, like planning on like practicing or working on something new, learning something new? Any new techniques, any new machines? any orders that you're working on. If you don't have orders, you should be practicing something. It doesn't have to be for an order. This is how you get better. If you don't have anything like any actual orders, you should have something that you are practicing on, something new that you are learning. For everyone that says, oh, I don't understand Silhouette, I don't understand Canva, I don't understand Photoshop. If you don't have anything pressing going on right now, you should be taking the time to learn or improve skills in some area that's going to benefit you in the long run. Whatever it is that has you like the most frustrated, now is the time to actually work on those things. Click around some buttons in Photoshop, in Canva. Just put things on the screen. Try out some of the templates, mix and match things. Play around with background removers. It doesn't have to be perfect. The goal is just understanding the platforms. If it's working with Smart Object, if it's merging things together, duplicate a bunch of different things and just try out different settings, different adjustments. This would be the time to do that. You can ask as many questions as you want. Afternoon, I'm going through the Grad Customs Master's Program and practicing in Canva. Awesome, awesome. If you don't want to work on any design softwares or things like that, if you don't have any pressing orders, today would be a great day to go get some of those messed up items, those not so great items. Put them in like the best angle that you possibly can. Take some pictures. Figure out today where in your space, where in your home, where outside is the best lighting. What can you use as a backdrop? Take this time to figure those things out. Take this time to weigh your items. The things that you normally don't have time to do because you are super, super busy. If this is a day, if this is a weekend where you don't have a lot of things going on, trust me, there are some things that you can do that's going to help you in the long run. Get measurements, research new papers. You don't have to go out and buy anything, but research research the new equipment. How much does it cost? What's going to be the pros, the cons? Make lists of pros and cons. How will it help your business? Work on your descriptions. Work on, like, there's so many things that you guys can be working on when you don't have orders. My template I made following yours in Silhouette. When I print it, when I print, it cuts off the top. So I have to change my printer settings to just 12.9 instead of 13 in my Epson. Yes. Epson printers, the max size is 12.95, and you also have to account for the print margin. So I'm guessing you're talking about the accordion fan or like the clack fan. So if your design ends up being if you truly measure your actual fabric piece, and it is larger than 13 inches, you're not going to be able to just print one 13-inch sheet because you cannot do borderless. So it's going to be, you have to set it to 12.95, depending on which program you're using. So I don't know if you're using Silhouette Studio, if you're using Canva, if you're using Photoshop, if you're using Affinity, but you have to set it, the width, to 12.95. I'm just going to put 27 here, and then I'm going to make this right here. I'm going to make this also 12.95 by 27. And then I'm going to go an internal with the Epson printers. It's like 0.125 is like the smallest margin. Like with the print margin, I'm going to center that to page. this is the print area that you have. So it's going to cut off. So you basically have 12.7 inches of print space. A lot of these larger fans, you cannot get it to print on one sheet without it like not having a little bit of ink at the top. For some people, they have pushed theirs, like they make sure it covers the top, and then like on the bottom half, it doesn't quite like fill it in. So some people have like taken like little strips, like they'll print out another one and they'll put a little strip just at the bottom, and that's the part that's going to go underneath or like in front of the the slat anyway, so like it's not like a big deal. Or some people like just trim it off a little bit, because when you're looking at the like the runs from the fan, they don't go all the way up to the top of the fan. So even if you were to like cut off a little bit, like if it's a little sliver left, if you were to cut that off, you still have enough space like for your fan to go on there properly. So yeah, so you have to cut your paper down. And so you have to set it to 12.95 because that's the max size. Whenever you are using a customized size, it's 12.95. User defined, it tells you that's the max size, 12.95. I wanted to thank you for allowing me to post in the group. I'm working on my daughter's graduation fans and shirts. You are very welcome. Thank you for always supporting. I am trying to make some labels. It reads ties, trinkets, and designs. I wanted center the design horizontally and vertically. It is almost together. When I click center button, it squishes it all together. So yes, so if you have multiple things, it's going to do that. So you'll have to do them one by one, or like group them together. So let's say if you have so let's say like this is the tag, and you have, let me see, well, it won't allow me to copy it so let's say ties. I'm guessing you have, because you said designs, you want to center that. So I'm guessing yours says trinkets. And then if you have another line that says and designs, just for the sake of this, I'm going to give this a different font. Okay, let's just say it was that. All right, if it needs to be centered on this. So if you center, yes, it's going to do that, right? If you select them all and you center, yes, it's going to do that. You would need to, so let's say we're going to put this here. I'm going to select the tag and I'm going to select them all, and I'm going to do it one by one. So I'm going to come to here. Now I need to select these two. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And you need to group, like once you have these set up where you want them. So I'm going to select those two, make sure that they are still centered. Okay, so now that's centered. I'm going to group that together. Now that these two lines are one piece, I can select it with the label, and I can either center it, or you could have just hit this button, the middle one, because it was already centered. It was already aligned to the center. So you can align it to the middle. But you can't just leave it as is. You have to group them together first, like the words, and then center them to the label. What's the paper size again for what? The max size for a large, I mean, that's the max size for a large Epson, like a wide format Epson printer that allows you to print technically 13 by 19 paper. You can put 13 by 19 paper and, kind of use the, it's technically 13 inches. That's the Super B. But if you're using user defined, it doesn't allow you to put in the number 13. You have to put in 12.95. If that's what you're referring to. If you have a small format printer, the max size is 8.5. Make sure that you guys, if you are not enrolled in Essential Silhouette Studio, we go over this. There is a full day all about alignments, and I go over these, like this information and this knowledge, these concepts on that day for alignment, and how center to page work, how center works, how align to the left, right, center, middle. Make sure that you guys are going through and you are building notes from that as well, because all of this information is available in Essentials of Silhouette Studio, and it is broken down into sections. Is there a way to turn the fan template portrait and print two pieces? Of course there is. Just rotate it sideways. So if you're wanting to split it, now, okay, so here's the thing. There is, because technically I don't show. Now there's other people there. I'm not gonna say it's rocket science. There are people, I guess you would say, that technically show how to do it and without like splitting it and all these different things. You can watch those. For me, it is in a class. It's in my class about oversized designs and things on how you can print something without having to technically split it up. So if you're wanting to do it in two separate pieces, what I will say is so if you're gonna, I'll do it this way. So if you're gonna do 13 by 19 paper, so 13 by 19. I showed this, I think, in the other video. You have here. So it would be, you need to definitely have overlap. So it would be two sheets of 13 by 19 in order to print that out. You could save your design and then you could duplicate it. So you have to, if it's done in Silhouette and it's all layered out, you're not going to be able to simply crop it. So you would have to save it and then bring it back in, and then you could technically crop it down. And I'll show you that there's technically, see right there, there's some overlap, and you want that overlap to make sure that it lines up. You don't want it to be butt to butt. So you want that overlap. So that's a way that you can bring it in. I also have a class that goes over oversized designs, and I teach it simpler way, but you do have to pay for that info. That class is on our website on how to do the oversized designs and print it out in a way where you don't technically have to split. There are also some other, I've seen videos. So if you want to just do some research and find it for yourself, you definitely can. But I said, we do have a class that goes over a simpler way of doing it. And you don't have to have, oh, whoa, what the heck? Why is my website not coming up? Oh, oh, crapola. Why is my website not coming up? Let me go to, cannot connect to the site. Whoa. Okay. Well, that just told me what the heck I need to work on today, because why is my website not coming? Oh, baby, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why is my website not coming up? Why is my website not coming up? Domains. Primary website is shop.hsaint365.com. Oh my gosh. What in the heck is going on here? Okay, now I gotta go figure out what's wrong with my website. Let's see. Some people print the whole page and putting the fan template on it and cut it out. I'm not sure. Some people print the whole page, then putting the fan template on it and cut it out. I'm not understanding what you mean by that. I'm not understanding. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I gotta figure out what's wrong with my website. I have a question about the grad files I purchased. For some reason, I can no longer open them. I know it's probably user error. Grad files you purchased from who? From me? From where? Are you referring to my website? Are you referring to me? Is it something that you already downloaded? Is it like you already have them downloaded on your computer? Are you referring to accessing them from the template vault? Are you trying to access them again from like my website? I need a little bit more context. Oh my God, what the heck is going on with my
Yeah. My baby cousin. Come on. I have to come to my house. Why you ain't got no light? What happened to your light?
Oh my God, what is wrong with this? Oh my God. What in the world is going on with my website? What the heck is going on with my website? I don't like this one bit. I don't like this at all. OMG. I forgot that. They're downloaded. I can't open it again. I mean, that would be user error. If they're already okay, so if they're already, so you're saying my website, but if they're already on your computer, I mean, so what happens when are you trying to open it from within Silhouette? So are you going file open, or are they in a downloaded folder and you're just double clicking on them and you're trying to open it that way? Exactly, like, how are you trying to open it up? Oh God. Jeremiah was it? Just perfect. Oh, I don't understand why is it not showing my website? What the heck is going on here? DNS records are pointing to Shopify. So why is it not showing up? This is crazy to me. Alrighty then. That's so weird. Yeah, that is very weird. Okay, I gotta figure out what's wrong with my website. Hola. Y'all, my mama just came and kidnapped my kids. Ain't tell me nothing. Just walk in the house and just come and kidnap my kids. Like, just take my kids. Don't tell me she's about to take my kids to the mall. No, nothing. I like stuff at the mall. Just don't want to take me nowhere. Um, y'all, I am really sad. Like, I have no idea what's going on right now. I have no idea what is going on with my. I have no idea what's going on with my website right now. Wow. Okay, I gotta figure that out. I see. I mean, just take mine. Just take my grandkids. My site is work on your end. I cannot get shop.hsinc365.com to come up. It says cannot open the site. Oh, I'm gonna figure it out, but I'm just saying it's just not opening right now. Okay, so I purchased it from you. Yes, it's on my computer. When I click on the file, a gray silhouette box says wait while so um okay. So okay, does it show when you're looking at it on your computer? Does it show a silhouette file? Like, do you see like do you see the silhouette S? If you don't see the S, I know this happened to Miss Gladys. So for her, the only way that she can open it up, she has to go in File, Open, and then go find that silhouette file and open it. She can't like double click and it automatically opens in Silhouette Studio. I have that's something on Windows side. I'm not sure what it is, but I know like Miss Gladys went through that issue. And so for all of her, she has to go File, Open to open it up. She can't just double click. So that might be what's happening with yours. But for her, that's like all silhouette files. I created my logo in Canva. Okay. So when I try to do print and cut a logo in Silhouette, the colors come out darker than the original colors. Well, did you use a specific hex code? So there's a couple things that can happen with that, right? One, calibration of your monitor to your printer. Every printer is going to print out different. If you were printing it out on a Epson printer that has a third-party ink in it, your colors might be a little bit different. The colors will be different from a pigment ink printer to a dye-based printer, on a sublimation printer, on an eco-solvent printer, on a latex printer. So unless you have a what's the thing called that I'm looking for? Unless you have a God, why can't I think right now? Color profile that's made to calibrate your monitor to that specific printer, and also even the paper, the type of paper that you're printing on. The colors can look different. The print settings that you're using, it can look different. I wish I could show you this picture. Literally going like printing with Adobe RGB Gamma 2.2 versus 1.8 produces different colors. I ran into this issue with an order that I have. So it could be your print settings. There can be a couple of different things that causes it to look different. So it may not necessarily be just bringing it into Silhouette or going from Canva, but how did you choose the colors? Did you use specific hex codes? Did you go through like just the color, like the color window on Canva? Let's see, let's go over here. So let's just say if I clicked on, let's just say I clicked on this one. When you go to colors, if you were just clicking around like in here, it will show differently when you go to Silhouette Studio. Like it's better if you use like a specific hex code, or you have something that you can reference from, sample the colors from. That's going to be your better option. Printing out a color chart so that you see the colors and know the exact color that you want it to be. But every printer is going to print out differently. You said it's up now? See, on my side, it's still saying no. Can't open the site. Let me try and open up a whole new Chrome. There it is. Okay. Whoo! Baby, I got scared for a minute there. I'm like, what's in the HE double hockey sticks? Yeah, it's up now. It still wasn't coming in on my phone though. When I sublimate the logo on my when I sublimate the logo with my 15,000, it came out fine. But when I printed the image on my Epson printer, that's when it was darker. Okay. So your colors are not going to be the same, especially from a 15,000. So if you feel like your colors were fine from a 15,000, which colors are normally off when it comes to 15,000, and now you're printing it on an Epson printer, which has like their actual ink. Like if it's a true, like the Epson printer, and I'm not sure if it's a dye-based ink or pigment ink, that's like the true ink that comes with that printer. Whereas an Epson 15,000, if you put sublimation ink in there, that's not the actual ink that belongs in that particular printer. So the regular printer might be coming out truer to how that particular hex code is supposed to come out. And then again, it's also in the settings. The settings that you're using for sublimation will be different from the settings that you're going to use as a regular printer. Are you using premium matte? Are you using glossy? Are you using automatic? Are you using Adobe? Is it glossy paper? Is it matte paper? All of these things affect color. It's almost impossible to get two different types of printer to print out a color and it be the exact same way, like the exact same color. It's almost impossible. The shades will be a little bit different. I mean, without seeing it, I can't tell like how off it is. It might, did you do a nozzle check? So if when in doubt about your colors, you should always do a nozzle check. A nozzle check will let you know the current state of your print heads. So it might come out darker if one of the other colors that helps it basically appear lighter, if that one is missing and it's really only printing from one color. So check that. Check your settings. There's a lot of different things. Like you have to go in and actually troubleshoot, print it out on different papers to see if it's the paper or the paper, the sticker sheet, whatever it is, see if it's that's affecting it. But yeah, it can be a number of things. It really can be. If you chose your hex code from a sublimation color chart, that's why it comes out correct from your sublimation printer, but comes out darker on your regular printer because you chose that from a sublimation color chart. When it comes to your logo, you're going to want to choose that from like a standard color chart, like that's printed with a standard printer that's like made for that, like the ink is made for that printer. It's better to print it from there first to kind of get your actual color that will show up online, you know, in print, like with regular prints. But when it comes to sublimation, most times you're using those color charts if you're going to use like just for that one thing. Like if I'm designing something for a birthday shirt, but if I'm designing logos, I'm never designing a logo. Did you get the hex? Because I saw you say you did use the hex codes. So where did you get the hex codes from? Was it just online, or did you get it from a sublimation color chart? All right, so now that this is back up, I'm like, because maybe I was scared. The class on oversize. This right here is the class that you want. You got the hex code from Canva. So that's not, okay. When you're getting a hex code, you cannot go off of what you see on the computer. So I have two monitors. My left monitor shows colors differently than my right side monitor. So you can't go off of that. You need, whenever you're choosing a hex code, it needs to be something that is printed and in front of you. You should never go off of the colors on a screen because all screens are different. This is the same way, you know, when I give the example of if you go into Best Buy, if you go into Walmart, you go into Target, anywhere where there's a bunch of monitors, a bunch of TVs. Some are standard, some are 4K, some are 3D, some are this, some are that, like all these, some are backlit, all these different things. That the same exact imagery can be shown on these displays and they're going to look different. You can go and look at Facebook on your computer and on your phone. You can do that right now. And 9 times out of 10, the color is going to look slightly different from your computer monitor to your phone monitor, to your phone screen. And then if you look at it on an iPad or some sort of tablet, you can have, like if I look at something on Even's Pro iPad, MJ has the smaller one. Hold on. And then Zanimani has the mini, and that's like an older one, and the colors on it were different. And he's also now have had like different screens because he's cracked his screen, so the quality of that particular screen might be different, and it's going to look brighter and different things like that. If you are someone that has like, you need the brightness on your monitor to be really, really high. Some people have their brightness really, really low. So you won't, like, it's hard to really go off of a screen to know how something will print out. It won't be exact. So you should never really choose the hex codes from the program. Now, where like being able to type in a hex code, you want to have that ability so that when you are looking at a printed chart, print it out, like you're able to actually see it and choose the color, you want to be able to type in that hex code. It might look different on your screen, and that is okay if it looks different on your screen. Once it prints out, it is going to be correct. I'm going to show you, let's see, where, let me see, I'll bring this up. Okay, so this is this on this screen, right? So I want you guys to kind of look at that color. Now, I'm going to flip this to I'm going to flip this to the other screen. Do you see how much brighter that is? I'm going to take a screenshot of this one. I'm going to stop the share. Oh, wait, I just realized I did the wrong one. Hold on. Because if I show, oh no, it does show it brighter. Okay, because it's not on there. Do you see the difference? On this is how it truly looks on this screen when I'm looking at it through Photoshop, and this is how it looks on my right screen. And all I did was this is literally the same Photoshop screen. And it's how it looks on one, which is showing it in CMYK. And then this is with RGB. And I don't know why this one keeps defaulting to CMYK. Don't ask me why. So I was literally going crazy the other day because, hold on, let me try and pull up this picture. I'm gonna add it to my the easiest way for me to do this. I'm gonna add it to Canva because then I can just show it. Gallery. This is so cool. Hold on, I should have did this. Hold on, I'm gonna delete this. Watch what I do. This is one of the things that I do like about Canva. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. Watch. Bam. Bam. Oh, I did it on my phone and it's showing up here. I ain't gonna lie. This is one of the things I do love about Canva. But look at the difference in these two. So one, I was looking at it on one screen. I'm like, I will say I went kind of crazy for a second. I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, why is it looking this way? And I moved. I was like, oh yeah, duh, Shakia, you're looking at this on the wrong screen. But also, I was having some issues like with the color. And then when the thing I tell you guys not to do when I'm like, I end up adding ink in the middle of a job. But one of them was also printed with, I didn't realize that it was set to Adobe RGB 2.2, and then this one was set to 1.8. So that's also a really big difference in the color just in your print settings. And it's the exact same file. The print settings alone changed how it looked, but the client didn't care. Like they actually liked both of them. So incredible afternoon. Okay, I would have to figure it out because it's a huge difference in the shade of turquoise. Turquoise. I'm actually surprised you actually really got a good one because that's one that's really hard when it comes to sublimation. So you may end up having to, like, for yourself when it comes to sublimation, having it in one shade for sublimation and then in a different shade for everything else. When I sublimate, do you use I basically use RGB. I only time I'm really using CMYK is for what do people call DTF. Yeah, I only really use that for DTF and DTG is the only time I'm really using CMYK. Well, no, I told a fib. When I have to order from my printer for business cards, I make sure those are designed in CMYK as well. But when I'm designing, I'm just printing like on Epson printers at home, RGB. Later. I might. My mom them left me, so if I don't go back to doing work, I might go out to Carol City's picnic is this weekend. That's actually what these were for. Actually, Central has theirs too, which I didn't realize they both had their picnic. I'm not really tapped into doing a lot of custom stuff anyway, but that would have been great money because both schools had their senior pick me not their alumni picnics. But Carol City's on is literally in my mom's backyard. Like it's where I used to coach cheer at Risco Park. So I might go out there today. Great place to go pass out some business cards, if nothing else. What high school did you go to? I went to Goldman. So my friend asked me that. I'm like, I went to Carol City for 9 weeks. Thank you. You're the GOAT of this cameo, hands down. I was just telling a friend of mine that's a non-crafter how you're a beast with this machine. Oh, thank you. All right, so it has been an hour. I am off. Like I said, I just needed to clear my brain. I had some things that I was working on. I have a bunch of, from doing all these towels and tumblers yesterday. I have a bunch of sublimation sheets. My floor looks a mess. I need to clean up in here, but I definitely needed a brain break. I kind of want to go, but at the same time, it's a lot. That's how big. It's a lot of people. Crowds like that gives me anxiety. I'm not even gonna lie. It gives me anxiety, and uh, 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 and it's too hot too. It's hot out there today. Probably when it's closer to the sun going down, I might go out. But that crowds of people like that drives me crazy. Um, I can get fresh air in my front yard. I get fresh air in my front yard. And technically that ain't fresh air because I'm pretty sure folk could be out there smoking and all that stuff. So to me, that's not fresh air going around and just. But I might go. I just want some. I'm being totally honest. I only want to go because I want Boss Man Carter's ribs. I just want to go get me some ribs. That's what I really want. I want to go for the food. I don't really want to go for anything else. I just want to go for the food. And uh, uh, Germ is out there barbecuing, and he has some of the best barbecue. So I just want to go get some of Germ's barbecue. That's all I really want to do, and then just go home. I can listen to all the music, all that stuff from my mama's porch, and I can get fresh air there. So yeah. All right, y'all. I am out of here until next time. I got work, but no, I probably, if I do, I know I have work to do. Like I seriously have work that has to be done. I have been slipping. I got to get the stuff done for this Canva class, for this Shopify class. I'm trying to build out these landing page. That's what I was doing. I always draw out my stuff first, like in a notebook. I'm trying to plan it out because I really, really need to do landing pages for these classes and possibly run some ads. So I was like doing all of that stuff. I really have to get this stuff done. Like it has to be done. Like seriously. So well, we have which one? So we have one like just to learn the basics of Canva, like, well, I don't say do's and don'ts, but it's like how I kind of go over Canva. So it's like understanding Canva, like where things are located, the things that you can do, can't do. That is 3065 right now. The Canva for business one, because it will be a few sessions for that, it is a bigger investment because it is going to be a few sessions for that particular one. So it's a slightly higher investment. And that is one that I'm still working on. I have a price in mind. I'm going back and forth with it. Me and my team are going back and forth with it. Yeah. So it's for what the value that you get, it is definitely affordable for how I teach and how I break it down and what you're going to get out of it. But it is going to be, it's not going to be a $30 class. And I can tell you that. Now, if you just want to kind of just understand Canva, and where things are located, how to properly click on things, how you're supposed to select things, how templates work, how the colors work, things of that nature, understanding Canva, perfect for you. Okay, so this is actually a really, really great question, right? This actually will explain that to you. So, will it teach me how to size and the image not disappear? This is why my classes are the best, right? Because I actually go over things like that. So I focus on the things that you can't do or the limitations. A lot of classes kind of like, okay, yeah, you can size pictures, you can remove backgrounds, you can do this, you can do that. Oh, let's build out this flyer, let's build out this shirt. And it's like, oh, wow. But then when you're trying to do certain things, like you said, right? Where you want to resize it and you don't lose the picture. There is no way to do that because Canva, which is a good thing, forces you to stay in proportions. Like it forces you to size things proportionally. So where if you go like this, yes, you're trying to pull it from the corner nodes, you are going to lose the picture because it's staying within proportions. If you try and bring it in this way, it's going to crop it off. That is what some of you guys need, right? Because if what happens is you guys are distorting images. So like if I were to open up this same exact image into Silhouette Studio, well, I'm not going to do that one. Let's see. I'll just use this image for example. You're wanting to be able to do this. No, that's not good. To be able to go and resize something and it's going to do this and it's going to squish, right? You should always be properly resizing it. Now, we can make it bigger. And of course, this has like no limitations. So does it seem like I'm losing anything? But that's essentially what Canva is doing also. It's almost like moving it from here. So when you're moving it from the corner, like the inside ones, it's almost like doing, oh, well, I can't really do it on this one because but it's like cropping it down and bringing this down like this, which is what it's supposed to do. So it's not fighting you. You just don't understand, and that's why I called it understanding Canva. It's what you can do, what you can't do. I had a group, which I really wanted to do the group, and people were telling me, get into Canva. That's the way everyone's going. No one cares about Silhouette. People don't care about about Photoshop. You got to start teaching Canva, but I can't maintain another group. So I did that one where, it was like Canva can't do that. And my goal was to highlight the things that Canva can't do so that you guys will stop being frustrated because you're trying to force this program to do something that it cannot do. You guys are spending hours and hours and hours trying to figure out, well, what am I doing wrong? Why is it fighting me? Why can't I make this not cut off the image? Well, you can't make it not cut off the image because it's always going to size proportionately. So if you pull it down from here, yes, it is going to technically crop. This is their version of cropping. This is why it's important to understand crop and like what it means like in different programs. So cropping here is slightly different than cropping in Silhouette Studio. It's kind of sort of the same like in Photoshop, but it's important to understand the terminology as it relates to the program that you are in. So one of my problems when sizing is in the inches area. It will size the entire page to 4.6 versus my image to 4.6. So because you're probably doing the wrong thing. So if you're clicking on the wrong area, if I wanted to size this to 4.6, you have to go to position, and right here on advanced, if I wanted this to be 4:6, it's going to still cut it off, right? Because okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this. And I'm going to make my width 4. So with the width at 4, the height has to be 2.31. With the height at 6, the width has to be 10. With the width at 6, the height is 3.46. Your issue is you're trying to unlock this and make it 4:6. It is going to cut that off because proportionately this image was, so this 4:6 is a portrait style rectangle, but this image was not set up that way. So proportionally, I can never make this 4:6 and fit the entire thing in a 4:6 square. You guys are always trying to do that. You're trying to disproportionately size things. You cannot force something into a different proportion. Write that in your notebooks. I know you said you had your notebooks. You cannot force something into a different proportion. So it's going to cut everything off because that's the part of 4. That's 4:6. Now, if you want to see a different part of it, you can always double click on it. And can you pan it around and see different things within that 4:6 rectangle? Yes. But can you see the entire image in that 4:6 rectangle? No, because the original image was never set up for 4:6. This picture was taken in landscape, not portrait. This is where understanding design. This is why I've spent so many years trying to get you guys to focus on understanding design concepts, not just how to design a particular thing. You have to understand. You may not like the term graphic design. No, I'm not trying to be that serious. Like some say, I was saying graphic designer, that intimidates them. I just want to be able to craft and make these. But then the frustration sets in when you're trying to do certain things and you don't understand these concepts of how designs and things work, and you start to blame yourself. You start to think that it's you. You spend all this time trying to force it to do something that is just not going to do because you didn't take, a lot of people don't take the time to understand the concepts of graphic designing. So this is something that's not just a Canva thing, right? This is a design concept in general. Like I've taught that in Silhouette Studio, when I've taught Photoshop, I'm teaching Canva. Like that's a design concept in general, understanding the difference in proportions and how something is arranged, how something is laid out. This is something that if you wanted this to go like for a button, you want it to be in a circle. Well, you can't force this to go inside of a circle. You're going to lose all the stuff over here, the stuff at the bottom. You're going to lose a lot of this because it's not set up for that. I have no concept of graphic designing. So you guys have to not just focus on the classes for, oh, how do I make memorial? How do I do something for party favors? When we have the classes, that's about understanding designing. These are the classes that you like. These are foundational classes. These are essential to what it is that you're wanting to do. It's just as important as learning concepts and designs and layouts for birthdays. How do I fill in negative space? How do I properly, how do I size for this? Like you asked, I think it was you to ask the question, how do I align for a label? How do I set this up? Those are important, but it's important just to understand graphic designing concepts as well. Like you can't have one without the other if you're truly trying to be great at your craft. Yeah, that Canva one definitely goes over, like I said, it's understanding Canva, what it can do, what it cannot do. It's not necessarily about putting together a specific design, where things are located, what's pro, what's not, the animations and things of that nature. All right. So official. Until next time, guys, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.